My introduction. The meaning of me. If you tell me, it means you are with the body of self. If I call me, then it was me. I am you. But you are not me. We are two. Although one has no statement. You are me. Your body is my body. I'm with you. Most of us and other human beings today have misunderstood what is called life. Most of them think that life is just eating, moving, seeking luxury, working and so on. They think and believe that the gross body, they live on its own, which allows them to do their daily work, but unfortunately they never think that their body, is actually a dead thing that cannot live and move on its own without anything which turns her on. To know that there is a living energy that is located in their own body, have you ever heard of soul and body? Which is soul and which is body? A question that should be given attention and should be studied, the meaning behind the words. Know that our body is actually a dead thing, which without the living in it our body is actually meaningless. But it is this body that is cared for and prioritized by most people in this world. While we all know that when we die, the body will rot and be planted or burned. This shows that death is when the life that gives life to the body leaves the body. The question now is, where is the place that is called to live and give life? What does he consist of? Where is he from? The most important thing is, can it be known? Which with the existence of it that is alive is our body that lives, and in fact it resides in our own body, and he is the one who is called the real self, and he is the one who actually animates our body. But have we ever thought about the self or tried to find and know it? Of course, the question that will arise is, where does the self come from? Where is the self located? What does the self consist of? And where does the self go when the body dies, or in other words the word self leaves the body? And most importantly, can we know the true self of ourself? Anyone who knows self will know that he will be his God. Is it true that if we know self then we will know God? We all know and believe that there is a spirit. No one can deny this fact, because when God asked the Spirit, "Who is your God?" spontaneously the Spirit answered, "Even," which means they already know the one God. The story of the Spirit enters Adam's body. After Adam's body lay down, God commanded the Spirit to enter Adam's body, but before that the Spirit asked, "Where should I enter, O God?" And God replied, "Enter whichever you like." Then the Spirit entered through the nose, and with that then we breathe through the nose. This shows that after the Spirit enters the body, then life begins in the body, and it is proven here that the Spirit is said to be the life of the body, and death in the body is when the Spirit leaves, when it dies. Our gross body consists of two, namely 1. On. What does it mean to be turned on, and which part? What is quickened is our gross body. It is quickened by the Spirit that is in the body. The Spirit enters the body during our 100 days in our mother's womb. "I have blown away some of my Spirit," God said. Since then, we live in our mother's womb and then are born into the world and continue to live from infancy until the end of life. 2. Turn on. What gives life is the Spirit, which comes, created, from God, who enters the body and continues to live. The job of the Spirit is to give life to the body, but unfortunately the body does not immediately think that it is the Spirit that really lives and animates the body. When the Spirit leaves it, then die. He is called people and planted or burned. Death is when the Spirit leaves the body. It is clear and proven here that the Spirit is the main one, and thus it can be likened to the Spirit, for the body is the life that is worn and the death that is substituted for the body. So should this Spirit be known? The answer is of course yes, but before we know the Spirit, we must know self first. Whoever knows self then know he will be his God. What is self? For everyone's knowledge that the self actually comes later after the Spirit enters the body. How does this happen? The Spirit is only a form of light, and when it enters the body, then the light of this Spirit will grow and radiate throughout and fill the space in the body. This is it. Which manifests or has caused the existence of the self, which is like the body, and the light of the Spirit fills every space in the body. So the real self is the self, and this self is what must be known. And this self is a picture of the body, and it is unseen. And this self is what must be known. How to know the true self? There are various ways and methods used to know this self, depending on the teaching and the method the teacher teaches to his students. All these schools are correct, and no matter what method is used, the purpose is to know the true self. To know this self there are three ways. 1. Open by itself. 2. Open it with your own usha. 3. Open by an experienced teacher. In the opening, the meaning is to open the path of the light of self to come out of the body, and the light of self is emitted out of the body through its path and with the feeling that vibrates on its way out. This feeling can be felt clearly by the students who study this science. In getting to know this self, at least the students will be able to feel the rays that have been born positively. This is the secret of our life, and this self is what animates the body as long as there is life in this world. This self must be known and felt fully by us, because it contains many secrets and versatility, in this world and the hereafter, inshallah. Did you know self earlier to is God? Of course, because he came from there, from the most creator and the most great. Many lag questions that will arise when we can know our true self. This true self, we must learn from this self. He knows because he comes from the all-knowing. He is wise because he comes from the most wise. He is as good as master. Real life is within, and the life of this world comes later. The conclusion is to know ourself who is the true self and present him in all our affairs in this world while waiting for the eternal day, because he remains, because he is eternal. The knowledge of knowing self is a knowledge that must be known by everyone, because every human being carries it in their gross body, should it. This animator of our body we leave alone without recognizing and feeling it. Only when death is about to come pick up we just realize that he will leave us.